Hi, this is Charting Man Dan of TheChartGuys.com, home of technical analysis education. Click the link for a free week trial, no credit card required, and gain access to our multiple live broadcasts daily, community chat room, educational videos, nightly watch lists, and more. Invest in your education and future and join the community today. Hey everybody, looking at gold, daily, weekly, shorter term time frames. The bears are still in control. The lower Bollinger Bands rejecting the price. They rejected the bull miners. Bull miners not able to confirm the bullish reversal hammer from yesterday. We'll check some of those charts out. But we closed below the 200-day moving average support here at 1256. So that level is now resistance. We are oversold on the daily time frame. The RSI is below 30. And the non-farm payroll numbers tomorrow morning are going to have a significant impact on gold. And in my opinion, there's two scenarios. Number one, a bearish reaction, bearish numbers are going to lead to a bullish reaction in gold, and that will be the fuel the bulls need to see this oversold bounce play out as we head back up towards 1280. Or if it's a bearish reaction to the numbers, I think that when China opens up on Sunday and into next week, that they are going to be buying this dip as I would be. I'm just putting myself in that position, and if I could not buy gold right now and I saw a bearish reaction from here tomorrow, seeing further downside, I would absolutely be looking to buy this dip, and I'll show you why on the longer term time frame here in just a moment. The weekly, obviously still bearish down at the lows. We're looking at that 1252.80 support, and we're right at that level. We did dip below it today, but if we close above that level on the weekly, that support will remain intact, and you can see this 1260 level acting as resistance for a bunch of weeks, knocking the price down, and we'll see if it's now going to act as support like it did on this dip back in at the end of June. So what I want to point out now, first we'll look at shorter term time frames, the hourly, and then we'll look at the daily and the longer term historical outlook. So the hourly has very clearly been controlled by the bears, lower highs and lower lows. There hasn't really been any fake out. There was one fake out on our bounce day, and the candlestick saw a long upper wick, and then it pulled back, and we didn't close higher. So it was the close of the candlestick that was important, and it led to lower lows. And the play here, and certainly I wouldn't be comfortable in bear miners at this point with them being so overbought and the bull miners being so oversold, but liking them for day trades, and every single time gold hits a new low, that right there is your instant signal to get into the bear miners and then use that as a day trade. So we had our low established back here at 1260.50. As soon as that broke, we saw over an hour of downside, very easy trade for the bear miners. So then we had our low at 1264, and heading into today, as soon as 1264 broke, then you got over 2 hours of bearish gold action, and it's the lack of support. So every time the established support breaks, that is your signal to get into a bear miner, and even if you're only holding it for an hour, you're making nice gains every time. So we had a bullish reaction to an article coming out today of ECB and the bonds, and the market and gold reacted bullish at the same time. The market held those gains, the bulls did not of gold. We did not confirm the bullish reversal candlestick, and that was a red flag. So 1252.50, we held that as the low of the day. We held it again as a double bottom. We dipped below it, but the hourly candlestick closed above it, and then we dipped and touched it again. So 1252.50 is a clear hourly support on gold, with 3 candlesticks hitting it to the penny, and the candlestick that did dip below it, bulls bought that dip and formed a bullish reversal doji, which has now been confirmed. So now we need a break of 1259.55 to see a higher high come out after this bullish reversal doji was confirmed. And looking at the 4-hour chart, we can see the bullish MACD cross is very close, and we have not bounced back from oversold conditions on this 4-hourly time frame since the dump started. So now what I want to point out is the daily RSI, and we're down here in the low 20s, 23 here on investing.com, and all we need to do is zoom out and look at historically what has happened when the RSI gets this oversold. And now let's look at the previous 3 times in the past year and a half, year and 10 months, really 2 years, let's call it, since this has, what am I saying? So the 2-year daily chart, RSI oversold. Let's look at what happened in the past. So last time the RSI dipped below 30 back in March of 2015, we bottomed out and formed a $70 bounce over 2 weeks. Then we had an RSI down at 20, certainly very oversold. We established a base, and then we saw a $90 bounce over 3 weeks. Then we had the RSI back below 30. We leveled out and saw a $180 bounce over 6 weeks. And now we have our RSI in the low 20s. We have not established a base of support yet. You can see every time we do trade and level out a little bit. So the bulls are going to be looking to level out. But my point is, historically, when the price or when the RSI gets this low, we see significant bounces following it. And that's what we're going to be looking for to happen here again. The RSI is currently, out of these 4 scenarios, this time included, the RSI is currently the second most oversold it's been. And it was more oversold back here in July of 2015 when we saw the $90 bounce. But my point is, gold is not going to, in my opinion, gold is not going to just fall off a cliff to 1200 here. And if it does, we're going to see a daily RSI that's more oversold than at any point in the past multiple years. So I don't think that's going to happen. It's a possibility. Anything can happen. But just looking historically, I would be looking for a bounce. And that's why I say if we see a bearish reaction to the numbers tomorrow and we continue to drop, if I'm in China and we open up on Sunday, I am going to be buying that dip. Just looking at historically what has happened in the past, I would be looking to get a piece of that $50 to $100 rally that we can potentially expect on this oversold bounce. And again, that's just looking at previous price action and what has happened in the past. So tomorrow morning is going to be very important. We'll be live pre-market and live in the chat room when those non-farm payroll numbers come out, covering that and watching the reaction. And we saw some big bullish bets coming in, a lot of big NUGT $13 calls expiring tomorrow. I believe there was a $250,000 bet made on those, and then some other call sweepers were coming in. So people are placing a bet that gold is going to react bullishly tomorrow morning. And we can see NUGT here is a bullish reversal doji. We need the lower Bollinger Band as support. We need to confirm it with a nice green day tomorrow. Oversold just now on the daily. Let's check in on the bear miners. They are still strong, but that's a very clear bearish reversal doji on the daily time frame at the top of an uptrend. Same thing for JDST. So the table is set for a potential bullish reaction to that jobs numbers tomorrow. And we're going to be watching very closely. And we'll check back in tomorrow after the close. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the likes and the shares. Best of luck.